Hello, thank you for listening. This is the near death experience of Daisy, and this experience occurred in January of 1981. Open quote. I had gone into the hospital to have my tubes tied. My husband later told me that he almost came back to keep me from having the surgery. The surgeon inserted a needle into my abdomen to insert gas to swell the stomach in preparation for the surgery. Missing, he sent an air bubble to my heart, causing me to be clinically dead for 4 minutes. The surgeon immediately called my husband, telling him there was a complication and that he should get to the hospital as quickly as possible. My husband couldn't even describe his reaction to seeing me in bed thrashing, and the nurses were in the process of restraining my arms. I had already pulled a tube out of my mouth, breaking a capped tooth. Upon hearing his voice, and I assume feeling his caress, I immediately relaxed. I was in a coma for almost 2 days. My feeling now is that my NDE happened before my husband came, and if he had not come, I might not be here today. I remember floating above, watching paddles being used on my chest, and watching the doctors reading the electrocardiograph machine from above. I remember nurses doing things to me, but I also saw the tunnel with the light. Who should appear from it but my brother and sister, whom I loved dearly and had lost in 1970. They were so happy to see me, and I them. I had been dreaming about them constantly for years. My sister had been killed in a car crash and train wreck, and my brother died of cancer 6 months later, and I missed them terribly. We hugged and were holding hands. They were begging me to come with them. I started to go with them, and then something stopped me. My husband? Question mark. And I told them I couldn't go because I had a baby, a 1-year-old, and a son, 9 years old, and my husband, and I wasn't ready to leave them. They were sad, but said of course I had to stay, but they wouldn't be able to come to me any more. I have never had a dream about them since, but I do believe my brother is living with us as I see his image from time to time. I get goosebumps and teary eye every time I recall this incident, but also treasure it because I know they are together. I lost my father in 1999 and my mother in 2001. I never dream about my father, but often about my mother, and she tells me that my brother and sister are now with her. This gives me great warmth. Before my mother passed, though, maybe 5 years ago on our wedding anniversary, my husband and I were at odds, but in the kitchen together preparing our celebration dinner. He was at the sink with his back to me, and with me face the other direction at the stove, when, at the same time, we found out later, we both felt someone tap us on the shoulder, and it was a definite tap with pressure. I turned to see if he was behind me, but he was at the sink. He didn't react because he knew if he turned around, I would be there, and he wasn't talking to me. I feel that was either my sister or brother telling us to straighten up. About a year after that, I was sitting at the computer and my husband was behind me. I felt another tap and turned to see what he was doing. He was nowhere in sight, but almost immediately after, maybe 1 minute, he called from the bathroom asking me why I was coming into the bedroom when I was supposed to be looking something up on the computer. He still isn't a believer. End quote. Why is it sometimes, I've heard this before, like her brother and sister came to her and wanted her to come over to the other side. She says no, and they say, okay, we understand, but we can't come to see you anymore. Why is that? What caused that? This event? I'm not sure. I've heard that before, so I'm curious. There are a couple questions. Let me see. What was your religion prior to your experience? Conservative, and your religion now is the same. Question: did you have a change in your values and beliefs because of your experience? Answer: yes. If it's not a life or death situation, it's just not worth getting angry or upset. Question: did you pass into or through a tunnel? Answer: yes, I didn't go all the way through, but went into it. There were definite walls. Question: was the experience difficult to express in words? Answer: yes, because it was so real, and I realized later it was my husband caressing me that actually brought me and my thoughts back. Question: are there one or several parts of your experience that are especially meaningful or significant to you? Answer: best part, seeing my sister and brother. Worst, not getting to see, dream about them anymore. End quote. And there's her question. She has the same question that I do. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.